In the long history of Buddhism, supernatural powers have often been described as extraordinary abilities. But what exactly are supernatural powers? What is Buddhism's true perspective on them? Let's explore the correct understanding of supernatural powers in Buddhism. Part 1. Definition and misunderstanding of supernatural powers. Definition of supernatural powers. Supernatural powers, known in Sanskrit as abhijja, refer to extraordinary abilities that transcend normal human capacities. In Buddhism, supernatural powers refer to 6 extraordinary abilities that can be attained through deep meditation and spiritual practice, known as the 6 supernatural powers. 1. Divine eye divyachakas. The divine eye refers to a special visual ability acquired through meditation, enabling one to perceive worlds beyond ordinary sight. A practitioner with the divine eye can see distant objects, beings in the spirit world, and even foresee certain events in the future. However, the divine eye does not imply complete omniscience. It can only perceive certain causes and effects within a specific range. 2. Divine ear divyasratra. The divine ear is an extraordinary auditory ability obtained through meditation, allowing a practitioner to hear sounds from very far away, including the thoughts of sentient beings. This ability enables the practitioner to hear the voices of humans, animals, spirits, and other beings, regardless of how faint or distant the sounds may be. 3. Mind reading parasiddhajnana. Mind reading refers to the ability to directly perceive the thoughts of others. Through mind reading, a practitioner can understand others' thoughts, intentions, and emotions. This ability can assist the practitioner in better guiding sentient beings during their practice, but it also requires the practitioner to have a high level of moral discipline to avoid misusing this power. 4. Recollection of Past Lives Purvanivasanusmati. Recollection of past lives is the ability to recall one's own and others' previous lives. A practitioner with this ability can remember experiences from past lives and observe the causes and effects of the cycle of birth and death. This ability helps practitioners understand the law of cause and effect, strengthening their determination in practice and aiding them in teaching others about karma. 5. Miraculous Powers Dividijnana. Miraculous powers are extraordinary abilities related to the body, enabling a practitioner to instantly travel to any place, pass through walls, fly, walk on water, and so forth. This ability is often seen as transcending the physical world and demonstrating control over physical laws, but its use must be cautious, and it should not be exercised for personal desire or to show off. 6. Extinction of Outflows Esravakai. Extinction of Outflows is the most important of the 6 supernatural powers and refers to the ability to completely eradicate all defilements and desires, thereby attaining nirvana. Extinction of Outflows represents the ultimate achievement of spiritual practice, freeing the practitioner from the bonds of samsara and the karma of the 3 realms, leading to true liberation. Thus, extinction of outflows is regarded as the highest accomplishment of a practitioner. The 6 supernatural powers illustrate the various levels of extraordinary abilities that can be achieved through meditation, but Buddhism emphasizes that while these abilities can assist in spiritual practice, they are not the ultimate goal. What truly matters is attaining inner enlightenment and liberation through the cultivation of morality, concentration, and wisdom. Buddhists are taught to treat these abilities with caution to avoid being misled by attachment to supernatural powers and deviating from the correct path of practice. Common misunderstandings of supernatural powers. Despite the existence of supernatural powers in Buddhist scriptures, many people often misunderstand their significance. These misunderstandings include 1. Supernatural powers as the primary goal of practice. Many mistakenly believe that the purpose of spiritual practice is to acquire supernatural powers. However, Buddhism emphasizes that the ultimate goal of practice is to attain nirvana and achieve inner liberation. 2. Supernatural powers as a measure of spiritual achievement. Supernatural powers are not the standard by which spiritual achievement is measured. Buddhism places more importance on moral cultivation, the growth of wisdom, and deep understanding of the Dharma. 3. Supernatural powers for personal desire. Buddhism clearly states that supernatural powers should not be used to fulfill personal desires or gain personal benefits. Such behavior goes against the original intention of spiritual practice. Buddhism adopts a cautious attitude towards supernatural powers. While the Buddha himself and many great masters possessed supernatural powers, They place greater emphasis on teaching disciples to follow the Noble Eightfold Path and purify the mind through morality, concentration, and wisdom. In daily life, Buddhists are encouraged to cultivate a power that transcends supernatural powers, the supernatural power of wisdom. Through mindfulness, compassion, and understanding, this wisdom helps us maintain peace and insight in a complex world. Supernatural powers should not become the illusion we pursue. True power comes from inner peace and profound understanding of the Dharma. Let us continue on our path of practice with the right mindset. Part 2. Historical examples of supernatural powers. Throughout history, many eminent monks and masters have demonstrated supernatural powers in the process of guiding sentient beings. For example, Bodhidharma's crossing the river on a reed, the miraculous act of swallowing a needle by Master Kumdriva, and the handkerchief covering the mountain of the sixth patriarch Huineng. Bodhidharma crossing the river on a reed. After meeting with Emperor Wu of Liang, Bodhidharma, the patriarch of the Zen school, realized that the conditions in the area were not ripe, so he decided to leave and head north. When he reached the riverbank, he saw the emperor's soldiers pursuing him. Bodhidharma then broke off a reed, threw it into the river, and transformed it into a small boat, crossing the river to Kaifeng. Master Kumdriva's miracle. When Saint Kumdriva was forced to marry, some disciples wanted to imitate him. To teach them a lesson, Kumdriva asked the disciples to swallow a bowl of needles, saying, "If you can swallow the needles, you can marry." No one dared to try, but Kumdriva himself swallowed the bowl of needles, which then emerged one by one from the pores of his body. The disciples were terrified and realized their mistake. The first Buddhist temple in China. During the Han Dynasty, the masters Vimalika and Dharmaruchi arrived in Chang'an. To increase the public's faith in Buddhism, they performed miraculous feats in midair, demonstrating 18 transformations, thereby winning the first Buddhist-Taoist debate. As a result, the first Buddhist temple in China, the White Horse Temple, was established. Sixth Patriarch Huineng's miracle. The sixth patriarch Huineng once sought to acquire land from the landowner Chen Yaxian for his spiritual practice. Chen Yaxian offered only a handkerchief-sized piece of land. Huineng then performed a miracle, throwing the handkerchief into the air, where it gradually expanded to cover 6 large mountains. Milarepa's encounter with a fish. At the beginning of his spiritual journey, Milarepa, seeing his master Marpa swallow a live fish, was tempted to leave. Just as Milarepa was about to leave, he heard Marpa say, "Fish, it's not that I'm unkind and unwilling to save you, but someone cannot bear to see me save you." Marpa then demonstrated his supernatural power, releasing the fish from his stomach into the water, where it swam joyfully. Milarepa looked back at the other fish in the bucket, each lying lifeless, and was astonished. He immediately bowed to Marpa, pleading for him to save the other fish. Milarepa's miracle. To liberate a Tibetan who had greatly supported Buddhism during his lifetime, Milarepa subdued the Bon priests and led a group to a valley. Next to a dry cow dung, he called the deceased's name, and suddenly a small insect crawled out from under the cow dung, flying directly towards Milarepa. It turned out that the deceased had been reborn as a small insect. Milarepa then used his supernatural powers to liberate the insect, which emitted a thin, bright light and flew towards the Pure Land. Venerable Siyun's snowfall. In 1900, during the height of summer, an epidemic ravaged Chang'an, with the stench of rotting corpses filling the air. Venerable Siyun, out of compassion for all beings, performed a ritual at Walong Zen Temple to bring down snow. To everyone's astonishment, snow began to fall heavily from the sky. Empress Dowager Cixi was deeply moved and knelt in the snow to pay homage to Venerable Siyun. In the history of Buddhism, from Kakyamuni Buddha to the enlightened monks and masters, there are countless examples of the display and use of supernatural powers. A thorough examination of the Tripitaka reveals that there is no teaching of the Buddha that suggests Buddhism should reject supernatural powers. In fact, every scripture contains instances of supernatural displays. True sages, who have eradicated the ego and the dualistic attachment to self and phenomena, do not show off their supernatural powers. Instead, they reveal these powers as a skillful means, determined by the present conditions, to benefit sentient beings. Whether to hide or display these powers depends on whether it is beneficial to sentient beings and is not just a matter of keeping them hidden or showing them off. Those who use supernatural powers solely to make a spectacle or for personal gain are considered deviant practitioners and charlatans, far removed from the path of Buddhism. Part 3. 6. Supernatural powers in Buddhist practice. In Buddhist practice, supernatural powers are considered the result of spiritual practice, not the primary goal. Here are 3 key principles regarding the correct view of supernatural powers in Buddhism. 1. The importance of morality, concentration, and wisdom. Buddhism emphasizes the importance of cultivating morality, concentration, and wisdom. Supernatural powers are the natural outcome of this cultivation, but they should not become the goal. 2. The risk of attachment. Excessive attachment to supernatural powers can lead to spiritual deviation. Practitioners are encouraged to focus on inner cultivation and let supernatural powers arise naturally. 3. Skillful means. Supernatural powers should be used as skillful means to guide sentient beings, not for personal gain or to show off. True wisdom lies in the proper use of these powers for the benefit of others. In conclusion, supernatural powers are an integral part of Buddhism, but they must be understood and used correctly. The true power in Buddhism comes from inner wisdom and compassion, not from external displays of miraculous abilities.